this is what it's come to. Y'all been watching that Joe Rogan. So here we are today speaking about aliens. The Bible does speak about aliens. We will cover this today. U.S. government speaking about UAPs, UFOs. UFOs for all us old people. UAPs for all the young people. Got to keep up with the terminology. Lock in. Let's go. Get your tin foil hats. Yes. So I'm online just trying to figure out what my audience is into, what my audience is watching, what's trending online. Is anything there valuable, worth a good discussion from the Bible over here at End Time Watchmen? And what do I discover? Apparently, we've got a little UFO, UAP action going on. Government decides they want to come out and let everyone know, you know what? We've been lying all this time. We've been just telling you a bold-faced lie. There are unidentified flying objects, or there has been unidentified aerial phenomenon. Some of it was us. Some of it was us. So they're letting us know some of it was us. It was our secret missions, our secret shuttles, our secret flights. And we just, wanted to sweep it under the rug, keep it low profile because we didn't want the enemies, foreign enemies, know what we had going on over here. So we just lied to the people. Okay? Is what it is. So they've admitted to some of that. They've confessed some of that going on. And then they've also said, okay, we're going to look at all the documentation of all the other reports of unidentified flying objects that we found from our own soldiers, naval teams, those flying the aircrafts, Air Force, Navy, And so we're going to compile that and put that together. That's NASA. They have whole departments. But it seems as though lately there's been a little uptick in said activity, hence the tinfoil hat, the cap, the tinfoil scully. Yeah. So here we are having this discussion now. So I'm glad that there's some honesty, maybe some transparency, but like many of you, especially those of you who know you've been watching that Joe Rogan, people going missing over in Yosemite, people vanishing suddenly, being picked up in one location, dropped off at another location, never knowing what's going on. They've seen aliens, spoken to aliens, usually little green people. You've seen some of this stuff. I know you have. Leave that Bigfoot alone. Don't go crazy. You're gonna go crazy. Leave that Bigfoot alone, friend. Talking to you. All right. Anyway, it seems a little suspicious to you. You're like, man, I don't know about the United States government. They're lying about everything. I think it's aliens. I think it's extraterrestrial. You've got your mind made up. It is extraterrestrials. Well, friends, I've got some stuff for you today. But first, let me give you a little feedback from, what's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson, that's his name. All right. Some of his thoughts. Hollywood and cultural projection. Tyson argues that public obsession with UFOs is largely fueled by movies and media. You know who you are. Depictions of aggressive or humanoid aliens reflect human anxieties, such as our own history of colonization. All right, Tyson, we see you there, my Negro friend, and basic human anatomy rather than actual astrobiological likelihood. The smartphone paradox he presents to us. Okay, with billions of people carrying high definition cameras capable of live streaming, there is still no clear high resolution video of an extraterrestrial entity or spacecraft, only fuzzy, low resolution and ambiguous clips. I must admit that is a little strange, wouldn't you say? Come on, let's be honest, friends. Little suspect. All right. The logical flaw of UFO claims. Not knowing what an object in the sky is does not serve as proof that it is an alien craft. Admitting something is unidentified simply means more data is needed, not that one can fill in the blank with extraterrestrial life. Making good points. The flaws of eyewitness testimonies. Human perception is easily deceived by optical illusions, poor lighting, and sensory limitations. In science, eyewitness testimony, even from trained Navy pilots, is considered the lowest and least reliable form of evidence. Lack of supporting global data. Pay attention. If alien visits were occurring frequently, they would be picked up by thousands of professional telescopes, satellite imaging systems like Google Earth, and commercial flight constantly monitoring the sky and atmosphere. But let me also note that Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's astrophysicist, right? He also stated this: we are not likely the only life forms in the universe. There are probably very many, some vastly more intelligent than we are. So what am I saying, friends? Let's not jump the gun here. And there's going to be something very critically important that I want to share with you about the spiritual battle going on behind the scenes. So just because you see something that you don't know what it is, can't identify, does not mean that we've been visited by ET. That's not what it means, friend. But the Bible does say that he created the worlds, okay? The worlds, the universe, everything that is. And I agree that it would be pretty ignorant of us, maybe pretty prideful, pretty dumb, may I even say that word, not too intelligent of us to think that we could possibly be the only intelligence in the entire cosmos. That does not make sense to me. I think one could probably easily accept the reality of we're here, maybe there's somebody else somewhere else. But friends, we've been quarantined, okay? Sin has quarantined this planet for sure. I have no question about that in my mind. Now, on to me saying that the Bible speaks about extraterrestrials. If you strictly go by the literal dictionary definition of the word extraterrestrials, that being originating, existing, or occurring outside the earth or its atmosphere, then the Bible absolutely speaks about extraterrestrials, aka angels, both fallen and unfallen angels. They fit the description perfectly. Stick with me because it's about to get important. I have a clip I'm going to run for you and play for you. It's going to blow your mind. Let me take you over to Revelation 12, verse 9 first to give you some support scripturally so you don't think that I'm going crazy. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So Satan and his fallen angels are here on earth per the scriptures. And we know that Satan can transform himself into a creature, a being of light. 1 + 1 = 2, friends. Put it together. 1/3 of the heavenly angels are here on earth, Satan as their leader, and they can transform themselves into angels, beings of light. Let that sink in. How many of you have ever heard of a gentleman by the name of Roger Morneau? The late Roger Morneau, born April 18th, 1925, passed away September 26th, 1998. He was a Christian author who wrote on prayer and on supernatural activity. He found himself in the occult, found himself in this worship of spirit beings or fallen angels. I was over in a satanic mansion where they worshiped fallen angels for powers, supernatural powers and gifts. The book I'm referring to is called Trip into the Supernatural by Roger Morneau. Powerful book, incredible power of prayer. Matter of fact, there's a 3-part series on prayer. Book, friends, get the books is what I'm saying to you. Read Incredible Power of Prayer, More Incredible Power of Prayer, Trip into the Supernatural. Get these books, will blow your mind. Nevertheless, I digress. We're talking about Roger Morneau becoming a spirit worshiper, a worshiper of fallen angels, and getting information from a satanic priest. And let me play you this clip on what Roger Morneau said he was told by said satanic priests about the plans of Satan at the end of time.
Oh yes, it was a big thing that was coming up. One of the major deceptions of the last days. And the priest told us, we talked for quite a while, and then he said, could I have a little bit more of your time? I want to do something very fascinating. He says the grand plan, the master's grand plan, for harvesting the nations, for harvesting the multitudes of the earth into his cause, just before the close of the great controversy between the forces of good and evil. So we continued, after we expressed ourselves, we were deeply interested to know more about the activities of spirits. And he said it's going to be done in a unique manner. This grand plan is going to take people are going to eat the stuff. Because he says spirits, demon spirits, will declare themselves to be inhabitants of far distant planets in the galaxies that are coming to warn the inhabitants of planet Earth of the impending destruction of the planet unless something seriously proper is done to avoid it.
Did you hear this, man? Assuming he's not lying, which would be kind of weird to be lying about this, but nevertheless, he's saying that the satanic priest let him know that before Satan's grand finale, pretending to be Christ, he will come, he and his fallen angels will come and pretend to be inhabitants from another planet, from a distant planet, encouraging the earth what they need to do in order to be saved from its destruction. This fits in perfectly with what we find in Bible about the end of the world, Revelation 13, all the world being ushered together to worship the beast, etc. Now, let me play you a clip from Ronald Reagan addressing the United Nations. Watch this, friends.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
All right, so we have the United States government coming out now admitting to unidentified aerial phenomena. We have an uptick in the interest of missing persons, more alien abductions, etc. Always been going on for a long time. But now the government has given its credence now, okay? Some of the most scientific minds are not willing to commit to the idea that an unidentified object necessarily equates to extraterrestrial or an alien. They do admit that we are not the only possible intelligent beings. It's very unlikely that we are the only intelligent beings, creatures in all the cosmos. Roger Morneau says he's told by a satanic priest that before Satan's grand finale, he and his angels will come and pretend to be aliens from a distant planet. And President Ronald Reagan at the time said, man, wouldn't it be interesting that if there was an alien invasion, how all the world would have to come together and work together apart from all their differences. Religion wouldn't matter. Faith wouldn't matter. Sect, creed, race wouldn't matter. Ethnicity, right? There's only one race, the human race. Ethnicity wouldn't matter because we would have a common enemy. But what if it was a common ally? Like Roger Morneau said. Let me read you this, friends, from Revelation 16, verse 14. I believe that extraterrestrial aliens, any contact with any being that is not of this planet is only fallen angels or potentially a guardian angel. But it's definitely not beings from another planet, but angels from heaven. Revelation 16, verse 14 says this, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. May God help us, friends. Revelation 13 will be fulfilled. All the world will be made to worship the beast, and miracles, signs, and wonders will be done to get everybody on board with the program, as we're told in Revelation 13. I believe this is Satan setting the groundwork for his last and final deception before he comes and pretends to be Jesus. Friends, are you ready? Are you prepared? Friends, a lot of times when we see something supernatural happen to us, or have an experience of something supernatural happen to us, or we witness some supernatural phenomenon, we automatically attribute it to one of two places, either from heaven, from God and his good, or to some extraterrestrial beings from another planet, which we don't know if they're going to do us good or do us harm. But friends, if Roger Morneau is correct, we are closer than we once believed. And secondly, what a thought that the aliens who are always depicted in movies coming to hurt us would then show up to help us to worship the first beast of Revelation 13. Friends, Maranatha, are you ready?